Welcome back to the Yellow Jacket Sports Talk Show. Today is Tuesday, March 11th. It's a great day to talk about sports news here for our listeners. I'm your host, Zach Dillard, and here beside me are my panel of experts to introduce themselves.
Mason Council.
Chandler Lewis.
Pfeiffer Glenn.
Will Craddock.
Today, we're going to be covering a lot about the NFL free agencies and, our X Factor topic. We're going to go into our X Factor. First one here on the X Factor is Wofford wins the SoCon in men's basketball.
Yeah, I actually watched a little bit of this game last night. It was probably one of the more entertaining college basketball games I've watched all season. I've watched a lot of college basketball this year, and this was definitely a top 5 game I've seen all year. Some people listening to the show might, be a Furman or a Wofford fan because they're somewhat local to the area. They had to go up to Asheville to play the conference championship, and Wofford ended up winning 92-85. But this was like a really back-and-forth game the entire time. Both teams, there was different spurts where, like, Furman would go on a run, and then Wofford would slow them down, and Wofford would go on a run. I don't know how many threes were made in this game, but it was an insane amount for both teams. Wofford shot 50% from the three-point line, which is insane. They were just chucking up some shots that you'd think, like, there's no way it's going in. Like, some Steph Curry-level shots they were chucking up, and they were falling. And it was really it came down to about the last 2 minutes, and then Wofford went on a little run and closed the game out with some free throws. But it was a really entertaining game and definitely one of the more exciting conference championships.
You know, what I thought was interesting was it was a conference championship against a six seed and a 5 seed. Wofford, they kind of had a shaky year. I mean, they went 18-10, I'm pretty sure, in the regular season. That's what I saw.
18-15.
18-15, so
Yeah.
a shaky year there. Probably we're not going to make the tournament, but since they won the SoCon, they get a automatic bid there to March Madness. One of the 64 teams in there. So credit to Wofford, the Terriers.
Terriers, man.
Terriers. I just wanted to say that. I thought it was kind of crazy, a six seed and a 5 seed. But go Terriers.
Hey, maybe they can make a Cinderella run.
Maybe,
in March
I
Madness. I mean,
They had a really good team 2 years ago.
Yeah, and Wofford a good team
when
last year.
Yeah, it was.
Furman
Furman
did
beat
they-
Virginia.
was that last year?
That was like
Or
2 or
2
3 years.
years
That was
ago.
2 or 3
Yeah.
years ago.
So hopefully Wofford can go on a similar run, beat a high-seeded team, and do something special.
For sure.
Yeah, speaking of high-seeded teams, we're going to head over to the next topic. South Carolina women's basketball wins the SEC tournament. They knocked off Texas this weekend.
Who they had a coin flip with.
Yeah, had a coin flip. They also lost to Texas in the regular season at Texas, so they got their get back.
Came out in Bon Secours and killed them by
Yeah.
20.
They'll be a high seed in the NCAA women's tournament.
I think they'll be a number 1 seed.
You think?
I think
Yeah.
they'll be a number
Yeah.
1 seed.
Easily.
Where that tournament? It's in
It
Greenville
was
too.
in Bon Secours, Wellness Arena.
The first round's in Greenville too.
Some for the boys was in Bon Secours too.
When South Carolina beat Duke, it was in Greenville.
Yeah, because Duke played like Troy
Yeah,
the first round.
something like that.
'Cause
So, yeah,
I remember I went to the practices in Bon Secours whenever they were practicing there. So it was the first and second round there.
yeah.
I don't know if it's there this year or not, though.
I'm not sure.
But credit Dawn Staley.
I mean,
Another-
they'll probably make another natty
Another
run.
SEC championship.
They-
Last
wait.
year's was crazy.
They win. Who won the natty for women's last year?
Carolina.
Carolina.
Yeah.
We about lost, but we hit that buzzer beater.
This was the SEC championship
Yeah.
against Tennessee. The big old center
Yeah,
banked in a
they just
three
let her shoot and she banked it in and won.
by 1. They were down
Back-to-back
2.
SEC championships.
Probably, dude, it's probably like back to back to back to back.
I don't even know how many it is.
It's
a lot.
got to be a
though.
lot. Dawn Staley's got a great program down there.
Yeah, y'all probably definitely make it far again
Yeah.
in the NCAA
Us-
tournament.
Usually the women's bracket sides, usually all 4 1 seeds are in the Final Four.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple 2 or 3 seeds. But I'm going to pass it over here to Pfeiffer and Chandler. Mark Sears hits a buzzer beater against Auburn, the rivals, to win 93-91.
Yeah, so Auburn, Alabama. That's already just a big game, especially being at Auburn. They really probably packed it out for Alabama because that's their rival. So we'll let you get to it.
Yeah, Mark Sears, he didn't have that many points throughout the game. So, but it came down to the end, and in his mind, he was definitely thinking he was going to do something great for his team. He was going to finish the game off, with that buzzer beater from the free throw line. Because he only finished with 9 points.
Do we know who had the most points in that game? It's kind of weird that they gave him the ball with only that many points.
He's the best point guard in the country.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
their best guy.
I know he's their best guy,
He
but
hit a little floater to win the
I
game.
saw it, but
getting the scores.
I mean, yeah.
It was in Auburn,
You would
so
think-
Auburn beats Alabama in Alabama's place because they're both in Alabama.
Yeah.
And then Alabama goes to Auburn's place, takes them down. So
I mean, that was I didn't really affect too much in the grand scheme of things, just
Nah.
because both of them are both already.
everything's already set.
They're already gonna make it to the March Madness tournament, regardless of how the SEC tournament goes. But it did drop Auburn from the number one
one's-
to number 3.
I mean, they'll still get
think.
they got when they went to number 3.
I mean, they'll still be a
They'll
number
still be
one
a number
seed,
1 seed,
probably.
but I mean, they dropped down in the rankings for the
Yeah.
first time in
a couple
forever.
weeks. Yeah, but I think that'll give that game will give Alabama some momentum coming into the tournament play.
now SEC play.
Yeah, the
I'm
SEC
excited. I'm excited
the
to see.
SEC tournament will be good, and I mean, you could say the
It's
SEC
a mini
tournament
March Madness.
is a mini March Madness, and some of the games will probably be harder than the games that some
They
teams
play.
will be playing in
Yeah.
March Madness because of
Absolutely.
how good the SEC is this year.
You getting the scores over there, or we just need to roll on over?
Yeah, he's kind of struggling, but
You want to try?
nah, it's fine.
All right, so we're gonna roll over from Mark Sears buzzer beater. We're gonna go over to ECU pitcher strikes out 19 batters through 7 2/3.
7 1/3.
7 1/3. Great line there. I mean, 19 Ks. That's every batter, but like
3.
Three.
19 out of the 22
19 out of
outs
the
were
22
strikeouts.
outs.
Who'd they play?
they were playing
Coastal Carolina.
which is a
God.
ranked team now. Luke Jones started the game for Coastal Carolina, but 19 strikeouts. That is
Crazy.
that's a really good pitching line there. Defense doesn't even really have to back you up there if you're striking batters out.
I mean, 19 is
It'd be
that's,
crazy. It's still crazy if he did in a whole game, but he did it in,
7 1/3.
which is, he went to the 8th inning.
Did
only,
they
so,
they pulled him after that?
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, why are you
Wh-
pulling a
yeah,
guy when
why?
he's got 19 Ks, man?
Still early in the year, man.
What was the
You're
score
right,
to that
you're right.
game, though?
They were up like 6-0 when he came out.
Yeah, I think ECU
ECU
won.
did win. That's
They better have won.
that stink.
Yeah, I
if
was
that,
about to say, they better win after that.
if they lost that game, that poor pitcher,
Head
won the
coach Cliff
series?
Goodwin would have been
he'd
a
have
little
been
hot.
fired up.
Who won the series?
ECU won the series, I'm pretty sure.
But 19 strikeouts, that's really impressive, especially in the college baseball day to day. You don't see, and Coastal Carolina's a well-hitting team, I'd say.
Very.
So credit to that pitcher. 19 strikeouts. Great line there.
What's our last topic?
Last topic of the day is Garrett Cole, the Yankees pitcher, is out for the year with Tommy John surgery. A huge loss for the Yankees there, as I'd say their number one pitcher pitched in the World Series last year. He's out for the year, Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, I mean, he's arguably the best pitcher in the MLB.
Right now, yeah.
And then the Yankees were doing a lot this year to get them a good squad for the. I mean, they had a good run last year, came up short, but they were looking very promising. Especially they were trying to get more pitchers, and with him being out, it just kind of shot him in the foot.
Tough blow there.
Especially he's on the back end of his career, so I don't know if he's going to come back. He's probably
got a
mid
couple.
30s.
He's probably got a couple years left in him.
Yeah, but they're saying he's maybe might even miss half of the 2026 season also. So
Gonna need a lot of rehab there.
I
Tommy
mean,
John's a long
Yep.
recovery.
y'all think that like this will affect the Yankees a lot? Like,
Yeah,
I
probably.
mean, it could affect them in the postseason, definitely. I mean, I know regular season, like, you just want to. I mean, some of the games, I guess, they play 162 games, but seeding wise for the playoffs and then going deep into the playoffs, you need a pitcher like Garrett Cole on the mound to get through the game, and he's a tough pitcher. So, stinks for Aaron Boone and the Yankees.
Yep.
But that's gonna be all for the X Factor here today. Now we got like a big thing happening right now in the NFL world. A lot of trades, a lot of signs, a lot of cutting players. Everybody's moving around.
yeah, I mean, this time of year, especially in the NFL, is like the craziest. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many ESPN notifications we probably all got yesterday. I mean, it felt like every 10 minutes we were getting some new ESPN notification about a different player signing somewhere new or getting a massive contract or getting traded or something like that. So there's definitely we definitely got a lot we're gonna be diving into right here.
Yeah. So first one is Justin Fields gets traded to the Jets. Pfeiffer's Jets over here.
Go Jets.
Oi, oi, oi.
Love the Jets.
I'm pretty sure it's like a two-year deal. I'm not exactly sure what the money is, but pretty sure it's 2 years. Only spent one.
40 million, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it is 40 million.
2 years, 40 mil, and 30 mil is guaranteed.
Yeah.
I mean,
So Justin Fields got.
Yeah, he's doing all right. I mean, he's not going to struggle.
nah.
I think it's good for him because he was the backup to Russell Wilson. So I think it's good for him to get playing.
I think he deserves an opportunity to start, especially I don't really know why the Steelers played Russ as much as they did. They should have gave Justin Fields
I mean,
a shot.
Justin Fields had better stats in his first
I
two
was gonna
games.
say.
than
Yeah,
that's
Russell
what I'm
Wilson
saying.
did.
Yeah.
Like before Russ came in, like
They were winning games.
They were winning a lot. I mean,
mean,
they
they-
won games with Russ, but they were like, I feel like winning more with Justin. He was actually not playing terrible. I mean, he was doing his job.
I mean,
get-
the only
I
time
mean-
he really played was they would just bring him in to run.
Yeah, once
Or,
Russ
like,
got
get a
back,
first
yeah.
He was
Yeah.
there for what? Only 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he was only there for 1 year. I
I've
think
always
this-
been a fan of Justin Fields. I like
I
the way
have
he
too.
carries himself.
I think the Steelers kind of lost a break there because I mean Russell Wilson's at his late end, maybe has a couple more years left, so they're gonna have to draft a quarterback this year.
yeah. And with Justin Fields leaving, that definitely makes the Steelers QB situation interesting because
Pickett's gone.
yeah, they did. Pickett had
Pickett's
there.
been gone.
Yeah.
but
They haven't. I don't think right now they don't have a quarterback on the roster yet because they haven't
they
re-signed
haven't
Russ.
re-signed, Yeah.
And there's speculation that Aaron Rodgers could be going there, which
Ugh,
That would
just
be-
terrible.
I got
Yeah.
we got a couple
Old.
friends that are Steelers fans, and
I mean,
I don't really think they
Not
want
my
that to
Aaron
happen.
Rodgers.
they would. I mean, if they get a good quarterback, they could be dialed in though because their wide receiver room is stacked.
I
now
mean,
with
They haven't had a losing record in Mike Tomlin's career. Like since Mike Tomlin's been there, they've never had a losing career.
well, ever since
Yeah.
another big name of
Yeah.
Devontae Adams went to the Steelers.
No,
Or-
DK Metcalf.
Where did Devontae Adams go?
He went to the Rams. We'll get into
Oh,
that
that's
after
my
this
bad.
topic. But speaking of the Steelers, DK Metcalf from the Seahawks, he gets traded to the Steelers.
Yep.
So
It was
he-
like a first. I want to say a second round pick.
So, I mean, they're building the pieces. DK Metcalf now, great wide receiver room. Pickens and DK Metcalf.
Yeah, DK's getting paid a pretty penny. 5 years for 150 million.
5 years, kind of crazy. He's been in the league for a while.
I would say he's
He's been in the
in
league
his.
since.
I would say he's kind of in his.
I would
Was
say
he
he's in
in
the back end of his prime.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, he's definitely still a good wide
like
receiver.
2 years ago
Yeah.
for the Seahawks, he was like crazy.
But I mean, having both
Both the
now
cash
DK Metcalf and George Pickens, who are
Yeah.
both notoriously hotheads.
and both
but-
wear 14. Might fight over it.
But I mean, they're both like insane deep threats, big physical receivers. So
DK Metcalf is a very big deep threat with his speed and big body frame.
yeah, like Will said, if the Steelers can get a good quarterback this year, they could be kind of dangerous.
I don't know what their defense looks like, but
Their
Their
defense,
defense
is
is
always good.
really good, led
Yeah.
led by Cam Hayward,
T.J. Watt,
T.J. Watt.
Minka Fitzpatrick, they're always
Yeah.
good. So I mean, if they find a quarterback, and I mean Mike Tomlin, obviously he's never had a losing season, they could
I think that's
surprise a
gonna
lot
be
of
good.
people.
Yeah.
He's a great coach.
Yeah, my dad went to high school with him.
Shout out.
Is that a true fact?
Is that?
It is.
That's impressive.
I saw Mike Tomlin in aquarium in Charleston. I was 2 years old.
Shout out Mike Tomlin.
Great coach. But now Devontae Adams signs with the Rams.
Yeah, have at it, man.
Man,
I know a lot of
crazy.
there's some fans out there that are really happy about that. Won't get into any names there, but they just released Cooper Cup something.
I don't think they've released.
They
him
didn't
yet.
release. I think
They're going to probably.
yeah, I think he like
If
I
they
mean, he
can't trade him.
Yeah, he posted all this stuff. If they don't trade him, they got Devontae Adams, Cooper Cup, and Puka Nakua, which would be an absolute stacked wide receiver core.
Yeah, but honestly, they'll probably trade or release
I think they're
Cup,
gonna.
one
Yeah,
of the two.
they got to get a quarterback though. I think
They
Matt
just-
Stafford's on his
I don't
end
know.
end of his.
Bro, he
They just
proves
re-signed
himself
him.
every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Stafford is a really good
He's
veteran quarterback in the NFL.
yeah, he's getting older, but I mean, I feel like he's consistent, and especially now, like they'll have a veteran in Devontae Adams, and Puka Nakua is one
Puka
of the,
Nakua is a third year who's showed his first 2 years were really well.
yeah, I think he's probably the best young receiver in the league. Or
Yeah,
I'd
probably.
I'd
Probably
say he's the
one
best
of 'em.
one of
yeah,
the
one,
young-
definitely one of the best young
best
receivers in
second
the
year
league.
receiver.
Yeah, so I mean, the Rams' offense could be really good this year.
And
I
they got a
mean,
young head coach, Sean
they-
McVay.
They didn't were they the ones that played the Eagles? They
think
took
so.
them down to the wire in the playoffs this past
Yeah,
year.
I think that's the only team that kind of stopped the Eagles.
Yeah, they put up a fight in the playoffs this year. So, I mean, hopefully Devontae Adams, his stint at the Jets did not really go like a bunch of people were hoping. He kind of played pretty bad.
I think they
For
thought
his
the Aaron
standard.
Rodgers. I think they thought
The
the Aaron
Green Bay
Rodgers,
duo.
Devontae Adams was going to be the Green Bay duo,
But
but
it just wasn't.
It was not.
it turned out it was not.
Aaron Rodgers
Aaron
needs to hang
Rodgers
up
is-
the cleats.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
getting-
It's like getting embarrassing.
There's only one team that needs a really quarterback right now, and that's the Giants. So if he wants to go to the Giants,
Zach
Who's the
Diller's
Bears?
Giants.
Who's the Bears quarterback now?
Caleb
Caleb
Williams.
Williams
Oh, yeah,
just
that's
got
a-
him.
He's a beast.
Not.
Cry baby.
And now
Just give him a year or two.
I think this was kind of an interesting one because he requested a trade from him. But Myles Garrett has re-signed a 4-year deal, $123 million with the Browns. One of the best
signing that
one,
much money is crazy.
one of the best defensive ends in the league. And I mean he went back to back defensive player of the years. So I was thinking it was kind of, or was it him or TJ? No, it was
Nah,
him because he
he-
won over TJ Watt.
Did he go back to back?
Yeah, he did go back to back.
Well, I know if I'm not mistaken, this makes him the highest paid non-quarterback ever in NFL history.
A lot of highest paid people now these
Yeah.
days in the
According
league.
a former Gamecock DB.
A lot of people are
It is
making
true.
that. Making
We'll
that
get into that in a little bit because we have a lot
Yeah,
of
there's a-
NFL stuff to cover here.
There's so many moves that happen, but yeah, this extension with the Browns was kind of surprising.
I thought it was too.
Apparently, like he requested a trade, but like it was either the owner or the GM. I think it was the owner. Like wouldn't even talk to him about it. Like they weren't even considering it. Like they wouldn't even give him the option to try to look for a trade.
He's their only hope.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why they paid him how much?
$123.5 million.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pay that kind of money to keep a player like that. But it'll be I'll be curious to see if he like keeps producing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of
He
probably
doesn't wanna
sick
be
of
there.
Cleveland, so I mean, obviously he's gonna try
I mean,
because
his-
he's gonna be getting paid
Has he been in a playoff game?
millions.
Have they made a playoff game since
That probably
maybe
no.
one? I don't
Nah.
know.
It's kind of wasted talent, honestly. I mean, he's the best
One man
one
show
of the
on that
best
defense.
edge rushers in the league, and he's playing on one of the worst teams in the league for his whole career. So I kind of wish he did get traded just so we could see
See him on a team.
see him in the playoffs. Yeah, see him on a good team, see what he could do. But I mean, I'd probably stay in Cleveland too if I got paid $123 million.
All
I
right.
I would do a lot of things for $123 million.
I mean, I don't care how bad my team is. If we lose every game, then I get $123 million. I don't really care.
Yeah.
This was not supposed to be the next topic, but we'll set it. So J.C. Horn is now the highest paid cornerback in the NFL.
Well deserving of it too.
Oh no, no,
I-
no.
I think this shocked a lot of people. I mean, I know the Panthers have got to pay their players to keep him. But new highest paid cornerback in the NFL is J.C.
It's-
Horn out of South Carolina.
Insane. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
mean, he's a good player. I can't say he's not a good player, but
He's a good player, but
I-
I'm not
highest
gonna
paid.
lie. I've never just heard of him doing anything in the NFL.
well, he's been hurt. He's been hurt.
yeah.
I think this last season was his first, like his rookie season. He was hurt.
No, he had a good rookie season. I thought.
Well, it was one of the years he got injury prone.
When I first saw this, that J.C. Horn was the highest paid DB,
You
and
thought it was fake
I
news.
thought it was fake news. I can't lie.
NBA
I mean,
Centel.
did you not think that was fake news? You can't tell me.
I didn't even know until
you were
y'all
like-
mentioned it.
Yeah, like we had a Panthers friend, and I was like, "Is this real?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "There's just no way this is real." I mean, you can't tell me you were expecting J.C. Horn to be the
Third
highest
year.
paid DB ever.
Has he even been a Pro Bowler?
I think probably just 'cause like anybody gets Pro Bowl
Yeah,
this year. I mean,
facts.
Tyler Huntley was in the Pro Bowl this year. Didn't start a game really. I mean, he started a couple games for the Dolphins, but
Or like all
Pro Bowl is just a
I
Pro
don't
Bowl
even
is.
think he's gotten like all.
defense or
All
something?
pro
Yeah,
or
like
anything like that.
whatever that is.
I think Pro Bowl is useless now.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but now, Josh Allen has signed a 6-year, $330 million deal, $250 guaranteed with the Buffalo Bills.
That's a
That's
Not
lot
really- no,
of
not-
That's well
money.
deserved.
It's a lot of money. No surprise. I mean, he won MVP this year, so gets a big contract. I think he's going to stay at the Bills for probably his whole career.
How many
I mean,
years is it?
6 years, $330 million.
Yeah, I mean,
dollars.
Yeah,
6
he'll be
years.
there
He'll
for the
probably
rest.
definitely be on the last few years of his career.
Yeah, I
he
mean,
loves that team.
I mean,
I mean, the
would
Bills
too.
got something
They make
to
a run
prove.
every year.
they got something to prove every year.
Yeah,
It's just whoever can take down the Chiefs.
I think he's also still like hungry to finish the
I think
job.
I think
'cause
he
he's-
deserves a Super
He
Bowl.
goes so far, but they just come up a little short every year. So I think he definitely wants to be in Buffalo.
for sure.
Yeah, and he's easily a top. Well, he won MVP, but
He-
he's easily a top 3 quarterback almost every year of his career so far. Or
I'd
top
say-
5 quarterback
Yeah,
every
I'd
year
say
of his
it's
career.
like him, Lamar, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, and
Joe
then
Burrow was
all the
alright.
AFC quarterbacks.
Baker
Yeah, like
Mayfield,
all
bro.
the ace-
Chill on him.
Baker.
That's
You
that's
say
not
that Baker
ridiculous.
Mayfield is not
That's what I'm
ridiculous.
saying, bro. That kid's a baller.
You just
That-
got to get him on the right team.
Yeah.
I think if the Bills can win a Super Bowl, then this would definitely be well deserved. I mean, he's already got the MVP. They're just lacking the Super Bowl win now.
Yeah.
That's about all he's got left to do in his career.
Next one I want to say, I got 2 back to back. So first is Geno Smith goes to the Raiders.
Yeah.
Don't know what he signed for, but he goes to the Raiders.
That was
Tough.
I'm pretty sure that was a trade.
Yeah, tough break for the Seahawks. I mean, they got Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett's gone. DK Metcalf's gone, and now their quarterback's gone.
All right. Geno Smith is not good though.
He's all right.
He's not good.
He's all right.
He's a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Hey, they wrote him off, but he didn't right back.
That's
Nobody in the NFL is,
he went with his former coach
Not
Pete
good.
Carroll to the Raiders.
I mean, the Raiders are. I don't think that's gonna change anything.
Yeah.
The Raiders are just bad. And,
Who was their quarterback? Derek Carr?
The Raiders? No, it was
was-
Aiden O'Connell.
and Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
They were like
Gardner Minshew was low key balling for him, and he got hurt.
Yeah.
Get out.
I mean, hopefully
Poor.
Pete Carroll can turn him around with Geno.
I mean, Pete Carroll's pushing 85.
So is Geno Smith.
Tough break for Jackson Smith and Jigba there over at the Seahawks.
I mean, they might get a good.
he
good
like
They did.
quarterback.
That's what.
They
That's
got-
what
no,
my
they
next
got-
one. That's what my
yeah.
next one's gonna be.
yeah.
See, I'm
Sam
just leading y'all into
Darnold.
this.
Sam Darnold
All right.
traded to the Seahawks.
Good is
Sam Darnold.
Whoa.
Whoa. Sam Darnold. Tough break in the Panthers. Tough break for
Jets.
the Jets.
he did
And then
ball out for the
and then
Panthers
he-
a little bit. I
No, but
remember
then he
that.
goes to the Vikings. Has some pieces.
Put
Had
on
it-
a
put on it-
masterclass of a season.
I mean,
did.
they finished second in the NFC North, which was behind the Lions,
I-
who was easily the best team going into the
I
playoffs.
honestly thought they were going to re-sign him.
I did too.
I thought they were too, because they better hope J.J. McCarthy is good.
They're really
because
banking on him.
It's going to be weird to see Sam Darnold in the Seahawks jersey.
It is.
I think.
That dude's had one heck of a career.
I mean, he got drafted what second?
It was a top
Was he
10
in? Was
pick.
he in Jared Goff's? No, that was Carson Wentz.
He's been in the league for a while now.
He
though.
has. He went to USC.
But it'll be interesting to see if he can keep this like
His-
momentum going now that he's. I mean, he's not gonna have Justin
and
Jefferson to
all
throw
these
to.
All
all
he's
he's got
got
is-
is Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah,
That's
unless they start have a
drafting
really good
or
draft
trading.
or signing people.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I hope he does well. I think he's a great guy. He's a good quarterback.
He's
Yeah.
hard not to like.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you can't not like.
He's
Sam
like the Scotty
Darnold.
Scheffler.
That is
low-key.
true.
Love Scotty.
I mean,
We need to cover golf one day in here.
Facts.
We'll
I-
get the Masters on.
what
here.
we had was the Players Championship this
the
weekend.
Players is this upcoming
The
weekend.
Players
The
is
Arnold
upcoming
Palmer
weekend.
was this past weekend, and
Players-
Harris English.
Harris
won?
English is
Did he win?
But I don't know. But I
Some-
thought you were
some-
about to say the Harris English Open. I was about to say that's
Some
a
kid,
player.
some dude won from Georgia. I forgot his name, but
Why have we not been covering golf?
Well,
That's
players.
good.
We'll
player-
get to that.
Hey,
players-
fellas, we're covering golf
Play-
here
ne-
soon.
Next,
We
hey,
will.
next Tuesday we are covering
First
the
major of
the
the year.
Players Championship. As Will said, first major of the year. We'll be covering golf.
Players is
It's a major.
just not a
it's
major.
just, I don't think it is a major.
Is it not?
no.
Nah, the majors is the Masters,
The Open.
the U.S. Open.
The Open,
The
the U.S. Open, and the Open's a major,
Yeah,
and then
the PGA Championship.
yeah.
yeah.
We'll get our facts
There's
straight for
only
next
4.
Tuesday.
There's
but-
only 4.
But tune in next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Players Championship coming right toward you.
The Players is like one of the biggest golf tournaments in
Yeah,
the country, though,
it's
outside
not
of
a
the
major.
majors. It's probably the first biggest non-major golf tournament, easily.
Yep. But let's keep the NFL
You know what
rolling,
else is
Mason.
big? Zach Wilson going to the Dolphins. I mean,
No,
it
it's
ain't that
not.
big, but
Zach Wilson to the
That's a-
Dolphins. He was the backup to the Aaron Rodgers, as Pfeiffer would say.
Roger.
You know, he said he was going to give Aaron, the starting quarterback, something that I won't say on this show. But it was a hard time summed up. We won't use
He's
that
going to give him a
word.
hard time.
He said he was going to give him a hard time. Did not give him a hard time. But he got Aaron Rodgers out of there, and then he gets traded to the Dolphins. So, I
He's had
mean,
a disappointing
an-
career.
another. I mean, he got drafted like second overall, I want to say.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, he's just gonna be a backup again.
Hey,
to-
Najee Harris to the Chargers. That's huge breaking news.
That's
Dude,
his big
he-
trade.
I mean,
That
yeah,
is-
he's
or
a
a
good
big-
running back.
big sign.
as
solid.
we were talking about the Steelers' offense, and they trade away Najee Harris. I know they have a great running back in Jalen Warren, who's younger guy, but I mean, Jim Harbaugh is just
He's stacking
he is
up over
stacking
there.
up. I'd say their wide receiver one at the Chargers is Lad McConkey
Yeah.
now.
Ooh, they need some height on that team.
Dude,
Yeah, but
wasn't
Lad
that
is-
number one Quinton Johnson or what? He's a
Uh,
big old dude.
yeah,
but
he's
he
just
has
not, he's just
no
not
hands.
good. But I mean,
They,
shout out to
uh,
Jim Harbaugh.
They made the playoffs last year.
They did first year in Jim
Yeah.
Harbaugh. They made the playoffs. I,
mean-
think we covered that too.
Yeah, we did. He's turning it around over there in where are they? LA.
Los Angeles, not
Yeah.
St. Louis.
Yeah. No, San Diego. They used to
San-
be in San Diego.
It was the St. Louis Rams. That's what I was
San
thinking.
Diego Chargers.
That's when Philip Rivers was there.
Wow.
That's OG,
That's-
man.
that
90
is-
yards.
Where'd all the time go?
Philip Rivers was a great quarterback there. And another thing, Grady Jarrett,
Oh,
the Clemson D tackle.
Shout out.
He
My
gets-
dog's
he
named
shout
gets-
out,
after
shout
him.
out Grady.
Yeah.
Shout
My
out
dog's named
Grady.
after Grady Jarrett, so
He
shout out
gets
to him.
he gets released, so please don't release Grady over there.
I don't
But
think Grady's going anywhere.
Grady Jarrett, I mean, that was shocking after he just signed like a really big deal. Last time he signed
Is
with
he
them.
good?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's getting a little older, but I mean,
he was a
he's still a
key
good
piece
player.
for the Falcons
He-
defensive line.
He was one of their team captains.
He was a Walter Payton Man of the Year
Yeah.
for the Falcons
This is-
nominee this
It was
year.
definitely surprising to see him go.
I thought it was. My dad thought it was really surprising.
But I mean, he got
Shout out Jason Dillon.
Yeah,
They-
shout out.
they released the Falcons released him, and then like an hour later he got picked up. Like basically
who'd he get
picked up
by?
instantly by the Bears.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Well, he's gonna be
Ugh.
he's gonna be joining former
From
T.O.
bad
Hanna
to
graduate
bad.
Zach Pickens.
Hey,
Shout out to
that
the
dude's a
T.O. Hanna,
baller.
only NFL player from T.O. Hanna.
I mean, the Bears might be kind of
Hey,
Ah,
Blake Williamson was
decent.
close, bro. Chill on him.
Sorry,
I'm trolling.
South Carolina quarterback. If you weren't aware of that,
I was
but
aware.
Mason, what was another high end? Did we cover?
I think we covered most of the main ones.
one more. That's another defensive player. The safety from the Dolphins getting traded to
Oh.
Zach's Giants.
That's
Javon
right.
Holland he signed for a 3-year, $45 million deal.
You know, just what we needed, for sure. I mean, we need any piece we can get. Brian Dable, I mean, hasn't had the best start of his coaching career at the Giants, but we're gonna flip it around. We're gonna draft Shador Sanders. We're making a run. What was Owen saying the other day? Hey, who got traded to the Steelers? That from the Eagles, maybe? Wasn't someone got dropped that was like a kind
Did
of a high-end
Saquon
safety?
resign?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Saquon.
he
did.
We talked about him being the highest paid.
Oh, yeah,
running
yeah, yeah.
back.
From the Eagles to the Steelers?
I don't know if
No
it was that,
idea.
but somebody signed with the Steelers. I can't remember. I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out. But
I think you just making stuff up.
I don't know. Maybe. But I think that concludes our Jacket Sports Talk show here on 94.9 WALH FM. Hope you enjoyed this episode covering a lot of NFL trades. But
Hey, golf coming up.
tune in next Tuesday. We
Yeah.
will be covering full on golf episode for sure. We'll cover the X Factor and then we'll go straight into golf. So if you're a golf fan, you need to tune in here on 94.9
Spread the news.
WALH FM. And we will see you on Thursday at 4 p.m. See y'all later.